Hello, it's Sanders. And many of you call me Commish. Let's get into it. I have a lot of things to declare today and to confirm. So I declare today is Louisiana Day. I declare that taxpayers, voters, are tired of being sick and tired. Prophet Mystical. I declare that taxpayers, the voters, are taking back their power. And I also declare that someone should have never given me this gavel because I'm going to be confirming, declaring everything. Thank you for the customized gavel. Okay, let's get into it, shall we? Louisiana. Let me tell you about my home state. Showed up, showed out, and said we are not having it anymore. Okay, you are not going to be changing these laws without our input, and we are going to what? Oppose it. We're going to vote it down. Vote it down, okay? Told y'all they shouldn't have gave me this gavel. But anyway, let me tell you. Let's get into it. Let me put on my specs, okay? I got to see a little bit, okay? Louisiana. Let me tell you, there were 4 amendments on the ballot, on the referendum, as you would say, to change policies in the state of Louisiana. Now, the voters came together statewide and opposed all 4 of these amendments to say, no, these laws are too vague. Yeah, you may have some good language in it, but it's a bad bill. And let me break down these bad bills. I'm going to give you the pros and the cons, okay? So, Amendment number 1. Which is Senate Bill number 1 in the state of Louisiana, is the creation of specialty courts and attorney discipline. Now, the proposed language, sometimes you got to dig deep into these bills because sometimes the proposed language will make it sound like, this is a great bill, but you have to dig deeper into the bill to see the language, to read the language, to see what else they are changing and hiding between the lines, okay? Between the words. There's things that they're hiding that makes it not a good bill. So this amendment, which is Amendment 1, Senate Bill 1, proposed to grant the Louisiana Supreme Court explicit authority to discipline out-of-state lawyers practicing in Louisiana. Additionally, it aimed to allow the state legislature to establish specialized courts with limited jurisdiction to handle specific types of cases such as business disputes, or family matters. Now, this is the cons. These are the cons, okay? Now, the pros first. Let me go with the pros. The pros, it gave the state legislature more power to create courts that deal with specific topics, like drugs or business court, the drug or business court. It let the Louisiana Supreme Court discipline out-of-state lawyers practicing in the state. So it gave them jurisdiction over that. But here is the cons of it, okay? Now, critics worried it gave too much power to the legislator to create courts without checks and balances. That's the issue. There was no checks and balances. Vague language, remember I told you have to read between those lines, raised concerns about how specialty courts, kind of like that tax court they were trying to create in the state of Georgia, remember that? Might function on who might be appointed. Isn't it amazing how a lot of these bills are the same in various southern states? Some feared it could politicize the court system further. The same idea, the same concerns taxpayers had with that tax court. Okay, so that is why the residents of the state of Louisiana voted, let's see, what was that percentage? 65% to oppose. Okay, now let's get into amendment number 2. Now the proposed amendment number 2, which is House Bill 7 in the state of Louisiana, it's called Tax and Budget Reform. This comprehensive amendment aimed to overhaul Louisiana's tax system by lowering the maximum individual income tax. Now, it sounds good. It sounds great. Remember what I stated. You have to dig into the bill. Increasing tax deduction for residents over 65. Increasing tax deduction for residents over 65. Sounds good so far, right? Implementing a cap on government spending growth. Modifying certain state funds operation and providing a permanent salary increase for teachers by allocating surplus funds to teachers' retirement debt. This sounds like House Bill 127 in the state of Georgia. Why are these bills so identical? Okay, now let's get down to the cons for Amendment 2, which is House Bill 71. Let's see. Critics said it was too complex and lumped too many changes into one vote. Yeah, because you put the teacher increases in there. And then you had to lower the income tax. It was too much in one bill. That's what they do to try to confuse you. And they put all of these laws in this one bill, all of this language in there, that to confuse the voters. That's why you have to dig deep. Thanks to those organizers out there who really took the time to teach you or provide you the information on why you should have not voted for this bill. Now, the risk of reducing revenue needed for services. Listen to this. This was in this bill. The risk of reducing revenue needed for services like healthcare, infrastructure, and schools. Opponents doubt the teachers' raise will be fully guaranteed long term. So the language in the bill did not guarantee a long-term salary increase. Okay, could result in cuts elsewhere if the revenue dropped. So the residents, the voters in the state of Louisiana voted down this amendment number 2 by 65% because they were engaged. Let's get down to amendment number 3, shall we, with Senate Bill number 2, which is juvenile justice reform. So what this bill is about, it can remove the list of crimes that automatically send juveniles to adult courts. Okay. It gave the legislator more control over which crimes, I need you to hear this, over which crimes could lead to adult prosecution. Now, it allowed flexibility to update laws without needing future constitutional amendments. So that means that they can make changes anytime they feel like it. Gave lawmakers the ability to respond faster to crime trends or justice reform needs. Could modernize the juvenile justice system. Now here are your cons. Remove long-standing constitutional protection for our youth in the state of Louisiana. Could allow future lawmakers to broaden, because it didn't give a list. It said that they can provide a list and left it up to the legislators to broaden the list to easily place more kids in adult prisons. Many saw it as a step back from juvenile justice reform. This is why you have to read so deep into these bills, because it sounds good on the surface, but when you dig deeper into the soil underneath, pull back the layers, this is what we get. Now let's go to amendment number 4, the last amendment that the state of Louisiana voters said, no. Here we go. Number 4. Senate Bill number 5, judicial vacancy elections. Okay, so the proposal is this amendment aimed to adjust the timeline for filling judicial vacancies. They propose that special elections to fill vacant judicial seats should be held at the earliest available dates as provided by state law. So let's look a little bit deeper. Let's find out what the cons were of this actual bill, this amendment that the voters voted down. I have to smile on that. Could delay filling important judge seats. could delay filling important judge seats. Raised fear of judges being appointed longer than expected. That means without your vote of being able to select who you want to sit in that seat as a judge, who you want to preside over your courts. Okay, so longer than expected without a public vote. Some believe it reduced voters' direct say in who serves on the bench. So it suppresses your vote, takes away the opportunity of you selecting your candidate to sit in that seat because they want to control the courts. No, no, no. So let's see how they voted for this. I already know it's in the 60 percentile, but I just want to make sure that I'm giving you the correct numbers here. So Amendment 4, the election outcome, it was opposed by 64% of the voters. 36 in favor. Now, majority of the opposers were between 34 and 36%. Who are you? Who are these opposers? Are these the ones that created the bill? The people that supported the bill? Who are you to be this heartless to allow something like this to occur? I want to give props to the voters of Louisiana for standing up and realizing that your vote is power, that your vote does stand, that your vote is your voice. Thank you, Louisiana. Thank you for standing up. Thank you for speaking out. And guess what? Thank you for being engaged. And I want to say this to all the states in the United States of America. Just like Louisiana, the taxpayers, the residents of Louisiana spoke up and used their vote and used their voice to say, we are not having it. We don't want bills like this. We need y'all to stop creating these bad bills for our state. That people matter. It is the people party. Thank you for getting out and exercising your right to vote and doing your civic duty. I find it so amazing that these bills in these southern states are almost identical. That they are matching in a lot of these states. I am just reading some of this for the first time and aware of the bills that are in the state of Georgia and how much they align. So they have a strategy. And guess what? The people, it's time for the people to strategize. Stay informed and stay engaged.